Hey everyone, Blake here and welcome back for another video. I want to start this video off by apologizing for missing last week's upload. I was on vacation in Orlando, Florida visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. If you're a Potterhead, I absolutely recommend going. Also, we hit 500 subscribers. I can't thank everyone enough for all the continued support here on the channel, and since we reached 500 so fast, I'm going to round up the original 7 wands and give away 10 mystery wands for the next 10 weeks. So be sure to stick around for the end of the video to see if you won the first mystery wand. Now, let's discuss some Hogwarts Legacy. Today, I want to talk about the possible travel options we might see in the game. First, let's talk about one of the most common ways to travel for witches and wizards, that being Floo powder. Floo powder is a glittery magical powder used by witches and wizards to travel by the Floo network, which connected the fireplaces of nearly every wizarding household and building, thus allowing them to leave home by the way of their fireplace in their living room and exit the fireplace of wherever they'd like to visit. It could also be used as a means of communication where magical persons could have their head temporarily transported to another fireplace to speak to those at the destination fireplace. Floo powder was invented by Ignatia Wildsmith in the 13th century. Its manufacture was strictly controlled. The only licensed producer in Britain was Floo-Pow, a company whose headquarters was in Diagon Alley, who never answered their front door. No shortage of Floo powder was ever reported, nor did anybody know anyone who made it. Its price remained consistent for 100 years, 2 sickles a scoop. Every wizard household carried a stock of Floo powder, usually conveniently located in a box or vase on the mantelpiece. We see Harry and the Weasley bunch travel by Floo powder for the first time in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, where Harry's pronunciation of Diagon Alley puts him in an undesired location. Floo powder was used as a quick means of transportation. It was often used by adult wizards when traveling with underage wizards. It was also a more regulated means of transportation that could be used without fear of breaking the internal statute of secrecy in special circumstances to travel to and from secure locations that were often inaccessible by Apparition, such as Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the Ministry of Magic, and the Muggle Prime Minister's office. Finally, there was little to no danger or serious injury, unlike Apparition. I believe that this is very likely that we will see traveling by the Floo network within Hogwarts Legacy. Next, let's cover a more stylish way of getting around, and that is by broom. Broomsticks, also known as brooms, were one of the means employed by wizards and witches to transport themselves between locations. Wizarding broomsticks, unlike non-magical broomsticks, were enchanted to fly, allowing for a witch or wizard to travel to their destination through the air, as well for playing games such as Quidditch. Their use in Great Britain and Ireland was regulated by the Ministry of Magic's Broom Regulatory Control. Until the 19th century, broomsticks were of varying quality. Although the invention of the cushioning charm in 1820 by Elliot Smethwick greatly enhanced the quality and comfort of the rides. However, they were still handmade by single wizards and witches, and they were generally incapable of achieving high speeds and were difficult to control at high altitudes. They were also designed with styling and craftsmanship in mind and not performance. Brooms such as the Oak Shaft 79, the Moon Trimmer, and the Silver Arrow all made an impact on the broom market, but were still made by single wizards and witches. This would make it hard for complex travel, but I see this being in the game as a means of quicker travel than walking. I wonder if we'll be able to accio our brooms when we need them, or if they'll only make it available in certain locations in the game. Although I obviously think that no broomsticks are going to be allowed in buildings, it might be free reign outside. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. The next one, although unlikely, could be seen within Hogwarts Legacy, and that is traveling by a portkey. A portkey was a magical object enchanted to instantly bring anyone touching it to a specific location. In most cases, a portkey was an everyday object that would not draw any attention to a muggle. Traveling by portkey was said to feel like having a hook somewhere behind the navel, pulling the traveler to their location. Almost any inanimate object could be turned into a portkey. The incantation used to turn an object into a portkey was Portus. Once bewitched, the object would transport anyone who grasped it to a prearranged destination. A portkey could also be enchanted to transport a grasper only at a given time. In this way, the arrival and departure of great numbers of witches and wizards could be staggered, enabling such events as the Quidditch World Cup to take place with few security breaches. Also, just a fun fact, before the creation of the Hogwarts Express, portkeys were used as a means of transportation to not draw the attention of muggles. Eventually, another method was sought because the majority of students would either not find the item that was their portkey or not arrive in the time to take the portkey. Many students were portkey sick, and in the hospital wing was filled with students for the first few days of term while they got over their nausea and distress. Would you ever be able to travel by portkey? Personally, I don't think I'd be able to handle the spinning. Last, let's cover a way of travel that I hope to see in the game, and that is Apparition. Apparition was a magical form of transportation in which the user traveled instantly from one location to another without traversing the space in between. This was accomplished by having the user focus on a desired location in their mind and then purposely disappearing from where they were to reappear at the desired location. Apparition was by far the fastest way to get to a desired destination, but was tricky to pull off correctly and disastrous if botched. The ability to apparate was a relatively advanced skill for wizards, but other magical creatures were capable of disappearing and reappearing of their own volitions as well, such as house elves and derricals. Apparition was a popular method of travel in the wizarding world, though it was stated that plenty of adult witches and wizards did not bother with it, preferring brooms, flute powder, or port keys. Albus Dumbledore once noted that most people vomited their first time they apparated. According to Harry Potter, apparition felt like being forced through a very tight rubber tube. A license to apparate was required to practice apparition legally, at least in Great Britain. These could be gained from the Department of Magical Transportation and were required since at least the 1920s. In Great Britain, at least, one had to be at least 17 years old to obtain such a license, though other countries such as Denmark made underage apparition legal. Lessons in apparition were available for an extra charge to students who were or would be of legal age when the next test was administered. This was similar to Muggle schools where road instruction for driving license were available but for an extra charge. So, with the game being dated in the late 1800s, maybe this is not in effect yet and lower year students would be able to perform this way of travel. While it was physically possible to apparate without a license, it is not advisable because injury could result. Splinching could occur when one had insufficient determination to reach one's goal, causing certain body parts to fail to arrive at the destination with the wizard. For example, Susan Bones' leg when she accidentally splinched herself during the apparition lesson, although it was successfully reattached, she was left shaken by the incident. At Hogwarts, students in their 6th year could sign up for the Ministry of Magic's apparition lessons. Those who turned 17 before the first apparition test date had the opportunity to take additional practice sessions in Hogsmeade. Those whose birthday was not before the original date had the option of taking the test later. To acquire the license, one had to prove ability to apparate flawlessly, and even the slightest mistake, whether splinching even the slightest or missing the target location, would result in a failure for the test. Like I had mentioned before, these requirements were set in the 1900s, so we could be able to use the ability at a lower year student if we are able to learn the process. I think having this in the game as a way of fast travel or just to be able to use this during fights would be really cool. This could add a little bit of difficulty to the game, making sure to not make mistakes that could cause damage to your character or even death. Let me know the ways of travel that you think are going to be in the game down in the comments below. Now let's get to our giveaway. Like I said, I will be giving away 10 Series 3 mystery wands for the next 10 weeks. So be sure to subscribe for your chance to win one of these awesome wands to kickstart your collection. So how we're going to do this time will be different for in the future. I ran into an issue pulling my full subscriber list due to some of you having your subscription set to private. So after this winter, I'm going to have you comment something on each new video for your chance to win the remaining wands. The winner of the first mystery wand is Zolo. Congratulations, I'm so glad to give you the first mystery wand out of the giveaway. Be sure to message the email with the title being Mystery Wand Giveaway in all caps so I can locate it easier to the email provided in the description to let me know where to ship the wand. Be sure if you are underage to get a parent's permission before sending me your address. I would be more than happy to speak with your parent or guardian to explain the situation of the giveaway if they have any questions. If anyone is interested, I've created a new Discord that will be down in the description below. I'm trying to build my community on there so we can talk about all things Harry Potter, whether that being about Hogwarts Legacy, fandom in general, or even just having Harry Potter watch parties. I hope to see everyone there. That's all I have for today. If you have any questions about Hogwarts Legacy or anything Harry Potter related, leave a comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at Blake Creates Media or on Twitter at Scrubwork. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.